Trilly on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself.
And we're live. Welcome back to Mezcal and Moguls. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And I want to welcome you guys back for today's Christmas episode. Now, I was going to wear a Santa outfit and stuff like that, but one, I forgot it. Not me. I thought it was here. It wasn't here. So I wasn't able to wear it. I know I was talking about it on TikTok Live that I was going to be wearing that, but sorry. But besides that, today's a Christmas episode. I want to thank you guys for always tuning in, all the support throughout this whole year. You guys have been amazing. Like, just being able to do this stuff for you guys and you guys getting such a great response. You guys always commenting, messaging, listening, sharing, texting the podcast to other people. Like, I really do appreciate it. Trust me. I'm really glad that you guys enjoy it, and I love doing it. So, thank you guys for supporting it. So if you guys are watching it on anywhere you're listening to, give us a thumbs up, give us a 5-star, whatever you can to help the podcast out. Definitely check us out. If you guys want to buy merch, link is in the bio. The pins, links in the bio. Like, I wear I don't have them on me right now, but the other ones that we have, more are coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Again, thank you guys always for supporting the podcast. But today's episode is top 10 reasons or top 10 things we will not be accepting in 2024. I know it's not a New Year's episode, but I might not be able to make a New Year's episode. We'll see. But anyways, but I did want to do this, like a little top 10 that we're not going to be accepting for 2024, okay? And again, some of these things are things that I'm not going to be accepting either. It's not just like, oh, let me put these out there. So the first one that we have is lack of communication in 2024. Prioritize open and honest communication in dating to build genuine connections. Now, this one seems, all of these are going to seem like, duh, but they're actually a lot harder to get from other people, if not from yourself. Communication is huge. Like, and I'm going to be, very strict about that this coming year. Like, if I start dating people, or like, there's a good way to communicate and there's a bad way to communicate. Bad way to communicate is obviously not say anything or don't bring up issues. A good way to communicate is obviously like, if something bugs you or if there's something going on, like, obviously bring it up. There's some people who don't bring anything up, and it's a real issue. Meaning, like, if for some reason that you guys are you're going to be busy, right? Cool. Let them know, hey, I'm going to be busy. I'll message you later. Like, I got this, and this. How hard is that message, But then, like, if you get that vice versa, like people telling you, like, or just like ghosting you completely, or not messaging you, or not communicating with you, or even communicating problems. If you guys have some sort of issue with whatever person, bring it up. Stop waiting. I don't know why people don't bring up these issues, meaning like they whole for running away. If they're not meant to be with you, they're going to be removed from your life. And you want that. If they're actually meant to be with you, they're going to change that. So that's where the communication comes in. Like, bring it up. If it's a big problem and it makes them run away, that's what you wanted. If it's if it's an issue and they're willing to fix it, then guess what? This person likes you. They're trying to fix it. So definitely bring up communication in any facets of your life. Meaning, like, whether it be like communication with friends, family, problems in the relationship, or something that you expect from this person in the relationship, bring it all up. And if there's issues with any of these, like, they're probably not meant for you. If they're giving you, if you tell them that you don't really like how they don't give you attention, and they're like, oh, okay, like, that's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, bring that up. And if they're like, oh, this girl's asking for too much, who cares? That's not for you. Somebody who wants to be with you is going to give you that attention to the point where you're not having to beg the person for some attention, and it doesn't matter if it's in the beginning of a relationship, later on in the relationship, bring it up. That's some of the biggest things that I get, like, on the TikTok questions is like, how do I bring this up without running the person away? you want to run the person away. If that person is not for you, make sure they find out sooner rather than later and have them exit your life, because they're going to exit at some point. It's just not right there. And that's just going to be maybe the catalyst to give them the boot. So definitely bring it up. Number 2 that we have, ghosting. Let's reject the practice of abruptly cutting off communication without explanation. It's time to be respectful, like, to others and for closures. And I get it. Like, some people, like, you'll never get what you want from a closure. But I think if you're not into somebody, or if you're not really feeling that person that way, I think it's going to be easier for you and them just to bring it up. Because, like, what if this person is like, feels like everything's going great, right? And then you just cut off communication. That's not healthy for you. That's not healthy for them, because now they're just like, what did I do? Or what happened? How can I be better? Like, if you're not feeling the person, just tell you're not feeling the person. Be like, yo, I really don't feel like there's a vibe there. There's like no sort of like spark. Cool. And it happens, because I said it before, like, not everyone is for everyone. So definitely, like, if that's an issue, right, that will be an issue later on. And because you're eventually, like, if you guys live in the same city, you guys are going to see each other. Like, it's only a matter of time. And then there's going to be that awkward, like, that's the person that ghosted me. No, let's just, hey, like, because I've had those healthy conversations where it's just like, hey, we're just not vibing. And it's totally fine, because now, like, if I see that person, hey, what's up? How you been? Hope you've been doing good. It's not that awkward. Let's avoid that person. Oh, like, we should leave. Like, this is just awkward. Because you're going to eventually run into that person. And so just so it's not awkward, just have that conversation. And I did a whole podcast episode on ghosting and how it's bad for not only the person doing the ghosting, but the person getting ghosted, like how it affects their mental health. And it can be, depending on the person, worse for others. Because a lot goes through your head, like, why did I get ghosted? What did I do? What could I have done better? Like, or maybe they just want me to chase them. Like, it's just like a whole, like, roller coaster of emotion. So let's not ghost people. Like, it's so much easier just to have that conversation. And, well, it's not easier. It's harder to have that conversation. But it's easier to communicate with people afterwards. Because then you can bring up problems that you don't like. You can bring up issues that you don't like in a relationship and have them fixed. Because, shit, if I don't like something, my ass is going to bring it up. And that's just it. If you have an issue about it, then cool. Like, we'll have an issue about it. And if it's something you can't change, then obviously we're not meant to be. So, and that's what I mean about the whole running away thing. Or like not running, like they'll exit your life type of thing. Shout out to Prime. Hold on, let me take a. So I'm trying. I don't think I've ghosted anybody ever since I've done the podcast. Did I? No, I don't think so. Not that I remember. Yeah, ever since I've been doing the TikToks and stuff, I don't think I've ghosted somebody. And then somebody's going to come out of nowhere and be like, you ghosted me. Well, this I said before the TikToks. But I'm practicing healthy communication, like things that I like, don't like, and if that's an issue. And it's same, vice versa. Like, if I do something that whoever I'm talking to doesn't like, bring it up. Tell me. The number 3 on our list that we will not accept in 2024 is disrespect. Set boundaries against disrespectful behavior, ensuring mutual respect in all interactions. And disrespect can come in many forms, meaning, like, I mean, you've seen it. Like, if you feel like it's disrespectful that the person you're with is liking other people's photos and they don't even like yours, or always following different people, and if it's an issue that you brought up, match their energy or tell them and just tell them that this is going south, that your relationship is going to go south if this keeps happening. Or just like disrespectful, meaning like you're letting people talk to you in disrespectful ways. Like there was that TikTok where that girl, like every time this guy would get drunk, the guy would talk to her in a very disrespectful way, like calling all sorts of names and stuff like that. And that's something that you should not deal with, sober or drunk. Like that's not something you should be dealing with. So like disrespectful ways like that, like how they're talking to you, how they're treating you, and just like disrespectful with your time too, like ghosting you, not even showing up to a date, or wasting your time, like thinking that you guys are gonna go to a date and then they just keep canceling on you. Um, you know, we're not gonna be accepting none of that. Like that's why I always say like have these boundaries, and then like obviously follow through with them. Like you don't, if you don't follow through with your boundaries, like if they do this, we're done. Like I don't care how hot they are, how cute they are, whatever the case, how much money they got. No, because that's just gonna be a continued behavior. Uh, because once they know they can get away with that shit, then they're just gonna keep doing it, and it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. So that's why let's not accept disrespectful behavior. You will not disrespect me at all, and I will not disrespect anybody either. Uh, but if somebody were to call me like you dumbass, like mother effer, and like this and that, I mean it's my podcast, I can swear, uh, but you know what I mean. Like nobody can disrespect me. Like I'm not gonna allow that with anyone. It doesn't matter like if it's like a personal relationship, business relationship, any of that. You talk to me like that, we gonna have a problem. And or like if it's a girl, we're definitely not gonna work out. If you have to like sit there and call me all sorts of names, no, ma'am. So do not accept disrespectful behavior. All right. So the next one that we have is misrepresentation. Reject dishonesty and encourage authenticity, discouraging the use of misleading information in dating profiles. Ooh, that's a big one. All this people lying about their height, people lying about their like age, people lying about their kids, people lying that they're married, all sorts of stuff. Like uh, that should be an actually like a red flag or like a boundary that like if that happens, you're out. Because if they can if somebody can lie to you about their age, height, kids, like all these little things that they can lie to, what makes you think that they're not gonna keep lying to you and lying to you and lying to you and lying to you? Like that just they're showing you right here that they're because if they lie about their height, you're never gonna see them in person. Like it's gonna come to the day where you meet this person, like or like say you guys are talking and then you guys meet, and he says he's 5'11", which I am 5'11", but they end up being like 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", whatever. Like they didn't think, oh, they're not gonna question that. Or like you're gonna find out their height, you're gonna find out their age. If they have kids, you're gonna find out they have kids. If they're married, you're gonna find out. Well, hopefully that they are married or in a relationship. That's why, like, if they can lie about those little things, then they can lie about anything. They're gonna lie about anything. Like, just petty little lies like that. Then obviously, like, worse things that are worse, they're gonna lie about those things too. So, so something like that, like, and even if you're that person, if you're a short king, embrace the short kingness, be confident about being a short king, be like, yeah, I'm 5'4", but you know, there's a lot in this package. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Not freaking, let's lie about my height just because I can get somebody else's attention. No. Again, you want somebody who's gonna want you for you. Like, so just put 5'4". Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, it sucks that you're shorter. Like, obviously we don't get to choose our traits or anything like that. But you know, you gotta embrace it, be confident with it, and then you go out there. So like again, like so imagine how that feels too though. Like you're telling somebody you're 5'5" or 5'11", and you show up and you're 5'5". Like what goes through your head? Like that they're gonna be okay with it? I get it. Some guys are just like, as soon as they get there, she's gonna fall in love with me because she's gonna no. She's probably gonna be like, what the fuck happened? Where's the other 5 inches? That's what she said. You know, and like, oh wait, like you said you were this, but you're this. And like you said you were 24, but you're 35. You know what I mean? Like that. You said you didn't like why didn't you tell me you had kids? Like, you know, or still married and in the process of a divorce. Uh, so let's just be honest. Like it goes a long way just being honest and straight up front. You don't have to navigate all this BS. Like if somebody's gonna like you, they're gonna like you for you. Don't need a lie to get in there, you know? So all right. Lack of consent. Make consent on non-negotiable elements, emphasizing importance of clear and enthusiastic agreement in all aspects of dating. And that's true. Like, it sucks to say that some people get taken advantage of. Obviously, like it's more on the girl side. Um, but it's hard because I can just say like, make sure you get consent. Obviously, like if someone's gonna take advantage of you, they don't give a shit about your consent. So it's just more about like, and of course, I've never asked the girl like, is it okay if we hook up? That would just be weird. Is it okay? But you can tell the vibes. Come on, let's be honest. Like if we're like passionately kissing, like clothes is starting, when the clothes start coming off, like it's obvious like what the intentions are, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Because I've never like pulled a girl's pants off and then just been like, am I sure she wants to do this? No. If they came off, we doing this. Like it's not forcefully, okay? Like disclaimer, not forcefully. I'm never just like, all right, cool. Since I got those off, now we in it. It's just more like you're still obviously foreplaying, touching, things like that, and you can tell. Like obviously she gave you consent. Like she ain't that wet. Well, like that's consent enough. Again, that sounds kind of weird. I'm not trying to sound like I force myself on anybody. Absolutely not. I do not consent. It's just like when you're in that moment. And I mean, consent can come in many ways. Like people showing up to random places that you're at. Like maybe people find it cute, and some people don't find it cute. This one's a little bit more difficult, just because I've never been the person to ask for consent. I can just kind of tell by the vibes in the situation that it's cool. Like I'm never like, hey, is it okay if I show up to the same? No, I'm gonna go to the same party. Like we don't have to be there together. I'm just gonna be like, hey, what's up? Like, how's it going? And if we continue to talk, then I'm not gonna be like, hey, is it cool if I come to the same party? No, or like obviously you want to have some sort of consent when you're hooking up. So, I mean, you tell me what this means. Like this was just on the list. You tell me what this means to you. All right. Something that we're not going to accept. Number 6, inequality. Promote equality and reject any form of discrimination or bias in dating relationships. And I would say like it sucks because there's some guys out there and girls that don't want to date. But I don't think that's discriminating. I think that's more of because, like, for example, I don't want to date somebody that has a lot of kids. Because why? Because I have 0 kids. And I don't want to date somebody that has like 4 or 5 kids, right? The most I've dated is a girl that had 3 kids. So, you know what I mean? Like, is that being not giving like a fair, equal housing? What do they call it? Like, so what do you think? Like, I think it's more of just giving people a chance. I never. Maybe some people do. Maybe because it's who I am. Maybe some people do like, oh, I can't date that person because she's white. I mean, maybe your parents, depending on the type of, how like some cultures, like they want you to marry the same, from the same culture, same race, whatever the case may be, right? No, like being a little bit more open to try the different flavors. You know what I mean? I've never discriminated. Like I've gone on dates with white girls, black girls, Asians. No, not because I didn't want to. I just haven't. Hispanics, different Latinas, and I think that's about. But I've never been like, oh no, she got to be. That's what a lot of people think, that. Oh no, she has to be Latina. No, it doesn't have to be. I'm open to everything. But then there's also the how like parents are, you can't do that. You have to date another person. You have to date this. You get it a lot like when you start mixing races. It happens all the time with like Hispanics and like maybe dating a different race. White people dating a different. It can happen to anybody. Like it's not just like one race, right? So I think maybe just being a little bit more open, give everyone a fair chance, because you can meet some really cool people. I know. I've been fortunate enough to know a lot of people from different races, and they're all fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like they're all cool, and everyone has their thing. I've never been like, no, I stay away from that race just because that's not my like. They're supposedly a certain way. Nah, we all live on this earth. We're all cool. We all have our personal like traits and stuff like that. So, just give people a fair chance. If you've never dated outside, let's change that for 2024. Be open to it. Because you never know, you might find the love of your life. And then number 7 that we have here is manipulation. Say no to tactics and encourage healthy, transparent interactions instead. And I think, you have to be aware that they're doing things like that. And it comes a lot from like narcissist people. Like they'll blame you for certain things that they're just insecure about. They're not like issues with themselves. You've seen it like when they try to make things your fault. The reason they cheated, it was because of you. The reason they did this was because of you. Like it was your fault that they did this. They're always blaming you. Or they always make it seem like if you're with somebody and they're constantly blaming you for something that you know for a fact that you did not do, that one is perfect because that's something that's going on with them. And I don't know why people accept it. Like I get it when you're in it. It's really hard to see things like this and then just get out of it. I remember I did chat with somebody who was in an abusive relationship with a narcissist, and he would always blame her that she was the reason why he would do all these things, right? But like it's really hard to see when she's in it, her thinking like if I just behave, if I just do what he wants, like he's going to be all great, because in the beginning, they'll be amazing. They'll be amazing to you, give you, you know what I mean? Like treat you like a queen. But then once they know they got you, like now it's like, how do I get that person in the beginning again? Let me do this. He says not to do this, so I won't do this anymore. Not to wear that, not unfollow this person, I'll do that. It's just a bunch of little things like that. So if you're listening to this and you have some things like that happen, you need to figure out your situation, because like if they're blaming you for just their insecurities, you may have a narcissist on your hands, and you do not want that. Let's see. Another thing that we will not accept anymore in 2024 is infidelity, rejecting cheating, and prioritizing loyalty, fostering trust, commitment in dating and relationships. And how many times... I'm sure somebody's listening to this, they got cheated on, and they're still with that person. And they might have cheated on multiple times, or maybe they've given you hints that they're probably cheating. How much longer are you going to give them? No. You know what I mean? Like 20, that you think they're going to change. This upcoming year should be the year that you're just like, you know what? We're done. I'm done dealing with that shit, because you don't deserve that. Like they're cheating for their own reasons. They got their own things wrong with them and stuff like that, and you shouldn't be going through that, especially like if they cheated multiple times. Like there's some of these TikToks where they get cheated on multiple times, and I'm just like, why do you let that happen? I would absolutely not. You cheated on me one time, trust me, I'm out. We done. It's over. Like I'm gonna go do my thing, you do your thing, right? I just don't know. I don't know why people accept that or allow people to do that to them. But like I'm saying, let's not accept that anymore. 2024, let's not accept that anymore. Like if somebody's cheating on you, somebody's being like that with you, like let's change that. Let's get out of that situation. Don't let it don't let them get away with it anymore. Like that's why I always say, like, how much are you willing to like let them get away with? Because here's the thing. Here's what sometimes happens. Like They cheat. They do whatever they can to get you to forgive them. You forgive them. They come back, and then guess what? Now they know what they had to do for you to get you back. So whenever they think they want to cheat again, or if it happens again, they know what to do again to get you back. You're like, oh, well, I did this. I just gotta be like super persistent. Like why weren't they persistent before they cheated? Like with you, like. And some people are like, do you think they'll ever change? Like, am I going to waste my time to find out? No. Do you want to find out? Like, how much time are you willing to waste? Because they already stepped out. And, like, of course, they're going to say they're sorry, that they'll never do it again, yada, yada, yada. But, again, how do you know? How do you know? They obviously had the courage enough to do it one time. And who knows? That was just the time you caught them. Remember that. That was just the time you caught them. What if they've done it more times in the past, or they're doing it with multiple different people? You just caught that. For example, like there's people who do petty crimes and stuff like that, and they just get away with them. They constantly getting away, and then they finally get caught for one thing, and they'll be like, "I've never done it before. This was the only time." When you clearly know they've been doing it for the longest time. You know what I mean? Like it's just because you got caught for that one moment. Or that one time. You never know. There could have been more moments. They're obviously not going to tell you. So see, it's like things like that go through my head where I'm just going to be like, I'm good. We out. You did that. You know what you were doing. You didn't fall on it. You didn't fall on that man's penis. You know what I mean? Like he didn't trip and fall and it landed inside of you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm out. Like it took two people consenting. Like, and even if the other person didn't know that they were in a relationship with you, like I get that. I'm more upset at the person that I was with. The other person, I give a shit. Like because sometimes that happens. You're like, shit, I didn't know. Like for example, the girl that was saying that she was pregnant with my baby. Like to this day, that her man right now doesn't know what happened because obviously like she didn't want to bring it up and things like that. And still doesn't know to this day. So imagine how he feels. Like imagine like, it's just crazy. Like that's why like cheating, come on, let's not accept that anymore. Let's get past that. Like if they cheat on you, cool. They knew what they were doing. Number 9 that we have it is ignoring mental health. Prioritize mental well-being and refuse to ignore the importance of mental health discussions in dating. And see, this is important. Like when you guys have issues, like bring them up. This is all part of the communication. Bring them up because then you just sit there and beat yourself up. Like, are they going to change? What I got to do for them to change? I'm unhappy in this relationship, this. And it just beats you up. And like, you don't want to bring it up. And then finally, when you do bring it up, now it's a problem because you brought it up, and you should have brought it up a long time ago. It's just like a lot of things that go on, and it's not good for you. It's not good for the person you're with. Like the moment I like if I'm talking to somebody or with somebody, the moment I have an issue with something, my ass is gonna bring it up because like one, if it runs you away, cool, we weren't meant to be, or two, I'm not going to wait for this person to be like this over a period of time. And then it's going to be a problem that I brought it up, right? No, like, let's make it a problem right now or make it an issue right now. If you want to fix it, cool. If not, then obviously we're not meant to be, right? So just because I've also dealt with stuff like that, it's just like, all right, like, you just hold things in, right? It's the worst to hold shit in. So it's better to talk about it, get past it, have that conversation and get past it. And if not, like, go your own ways because like what if it's an issue that is going to separate you guys? So let's not ignore that because trust me, mental health is big. I'm glad a lot of people talk about it now. It's like an issue to talk about and it's okay to talk, like tell people I'm struggling with this and that way they can get some sort of help. Always get the help that you need. There's plenty of places where you can go talk to. The worst thing that you can do is just like stay in it. So and number 10 that we have is lack of accountability. Emphasize personal responsibility and accountability, fostering culture of growth and self-improvement in dating scenarios. Again, I've seen the people who hold absolutely no accountability to their actions. You know, it's always an excuse for something. Always this, always that. It's never like, shit, my bad. Like, that was on me. You know, I'm gonna make sure, you know, I'm gonna show you that it's not gonna happen again, or things like that. Like, instead of being like, oh, it was because of this, oh, it was because of that, you know, it was because of this, you know, like it's because of, no. Just being straight up, like, you have to be more accountable with yourself, and also be expecting that, or yeah, expecting that from the person that you're with. If they, you know, make them be held accountable. That's why, like, if there's an issue, you bring it up, because like, hold them accountable for their things and see what happens, right? Be like, yo, like, you were like this, but then like, I know you can't give me attention all day, but damn, at least give me some. Like, put them on blast, tell them. So like, even it just everything, like, it's all about talking. Like, it's weird how like I can just say that it's all about talking to the person you're with, calling them out on things, and if they can hold themselves accountable for the what they've done, or like whatever's going on, then that's a good form of healthy communication. If they're just always making excuses like, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, I did it because of this, I did it because of that, that's a red flag right there. They're gonna be blaming everything else, everything and everybody but themselves, when it's themselves that made the decision to do whatever they did, or put themselves in the position wherever they're at. Like, it's their own fault. Hold yourself accountable. That's why, like, when people like want to be successful, build businesses or something like that, like, they don't want to hold themselves. They always make an excuse. I haven't done it because of this. I can't do it because of that. I'm like this, that. Always something. It's never like, I just been lazy. I just really haven't looked into it to like, or signed myself up to the right things. It's always like blaming something. Oh, I haven't gone to the gym because it's freaking under under 30 degrees outside and I don't go outside. You know, like, it's always something. People always make excuses for something instead of holding yourself accountable. You know, and I'm at fault for it too, for a lot of things, but we're talking about relationships here, right? So just pay attention to if they can hold themselves accountable. Like, again, I remember when I gave this example a lot. There was a girl that I was talking to a while back ago, and I'm always like super focused with my business, right? And she brought up and told me that she felt like I wasn't giving her as much attention as I was before. Like, she just felt like, she's like, I just feel something's off. Like, I don't know, like, are you still into this? And I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Like, I didn't mean for it to feel like that. I was like, I thought everything was fine, right? It's just me like diving more into my own business, right? And I wasn't really noticing that I was slacking in other areas. And I changed that right away. Like, I was like, my bad, definitely gonna change that. It just, I get super busy, and sometimes I feel like I don't see that I'm doing that, or I wasn't seeing that I was doing that at that time. So I changed that. So, but that was me holding myself accountable. I was like, shit, my bad. Like, it was just me. Like, I was like, I just deep dive into my work. I was like, that's my fault. You know, I was thinking everything was fine, but I'm glad she brought it up. I told her, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm gonna try to change this for you, because like, that's not how I want you to feel. So we need people to hold themselves accountable. And so like that's why I wanted to do this list. That way we can go over just like the 10 things that we're not going to accept anymore, because I know one of these things on this list is something that you accept from somebody, or you did at some point. No, we're not doing that anymore. Like, it's also like if I accept somebody doing something to me, like, and getting away with it, that's also on me, right? Meaning, like, I'm at fault too for letting people get away with that, right? And it shouldn't be like that. So I say 2024, we just focus on, you know, being the best we can be. I sound like a fucking army commercial. But also accepting, like, making sure that you only accept nothing less than what you want from that person, you know? Of course, nobody's going to be perfect. Everybody's going to have like here and there, but for the most part, like, there's some things that are non-negotiable for you guys, and that you should stick to that. It doesn't matter how pretty this person is. It doesn't matter how hot they are. It doesn't matter how much money they make, because if they can't make you happy, like none of that is gonna matter. Like, let's just be honest, like none of that is gonna matter if you're not happy. So, but again, I want to thank you guys for always tuning into the podcast. I like to keep them like 30 to 40 minutes, just because something nice to listen to real quick, nothing crazy long. I personally like the podcasts that are like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. You can sit down and listen to it on one go. Instead of like 34 hours, like those are a little bit difficult. The ones that I do try to stretch out a little bit more are the ones when I have guests, just because there's a little bit more to the conversation and I don't want to cut them off at any point. So again, give us a 5-star thumbs up wherever you're listening to us at. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support through this entire year. We won best podcast, best local podcast of the year, best local photographer in 2 different places. Like, trust me, we've been killing it this year. And obviously the podcast wouldn't get to where it's at without you guys listening, supporting, sharing, and things like that. So and also I started a Spanish account just because some of you guys wanted to hear me talking Spanish. So like, obviously we're gonna be posting stuff in Spanish too, and hopefully I'm gonna have some guests that it's gonna be an all Spanish podcast. So like, just a heads up, it's not gonna be too many. Like, if it gets to the point where like I'm getting asked for both a lot, I'm just gonna do like 2 separate ones, right? Like 2 separate platforms to put podcasts on. But anyways, I'm rambling now. Thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Make sure you spend it with your friends and family, and just enjoy it. Take some time, slow down. That's what I'm trying to do, and just enjoy the day. And then the next day, right back to hustling. All right, see you guys later.
Walking around with a mask on, smiling, but my heart singing sad songs. Yeah, I was living for myself. I was dead wrong till I got the call, no cell phone. Man, you talking to the real